In the heartland of America, there's a revolution quietly taking shape. It's not happening in Silicon Valley boardrooms or tech startup garages, but in the fabrication shops and construction sites that have built this nation for over a century. Steel isn't just metal. It's the backbone of American progress. From the skyscrapers that define our skylines to the stadiums where we gather. From the bridges that connect our communities to the data centers powering our digital age. Steel is the foundation of modern life. But in an era of disruption, even the strongest industries must evolve or risk being left behind. Today, we take you inside LeJeune Steel, a proud member of API Group, where a bold CEO and his visionary team are rewriting the rules of an industry that many thought was immune to change. It's a story about honoring legacy while embracing innovation, and about proving that American manufacturing isn't just surviving, it's leading the way forward. Welcome to 11 Minutes. At the helm of this evolution is LeJeune's CEO, Shipman, whose belief in innovation, transformation, and a shared thread of purpose has shaped not just the company's direction, but its identity.
Every phase and transition through the evolution of this company has been brought on through different innovative processes, technologies. It's kind of the spirit of who we are. The type of individuals that have built this business where it is today. We all have that common thread that kind of ties us all together. The most important aspect is just being a change agent and then making sure that you're leaving things better than you received it. I mean, that's really what everybody should aspire to do, regardless of what your industry is or your role.
But transformation in a century-old industry doesn't happen overnight. It requires not just vision, but the right team to execute it. Enter Pam Presthus, LeJeune's Chief Financial Officer.
Pam, you're not a traditional CFO. So how would you describe your approach to innovation, business value, and transformation?
I think that CFOs have this stigma of being the no. People even avoid sometimes CFO or finance because they're afraid of saying no, not being on board, not being a partner. I've never seen it that way. I've always wanted a CFO or finance to be a partner to the organization.
Their partnership began with what Shane calls a really long story.
I remember just talking about what am I looking for in a leader, somebody who can really contribute to the business, grow, scale it. And at the time, I was aware that we were going to be going public. And I remember like one of the first criteria she said, I was like, what are you really looking for? And she said, I'm really tired of the public side of the business. And she came from private equity and
might have been the first thing I said, yes.
Yeah, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, I really can't say anything.
Is that true?
It is true, and there's more choice words than why didn't you tell me? That was more...
We're on camera.
Yes, we're on camera.
Edit it out, there's beeping.
Yeah, oh yeah, beep it.
That first day surprise could have ended their partnership before it began. Instead, it forged a relationship built on trust, challenge, and a shared vision. The vision that would transform LeJeune Steel through a revolutionary technology platform began with a problem as old as the industry itself. Where's my steel?
We work in a multitude of different market segments across the construction field. Sports and entertainment's a huge market for us. Those particular schedules are really, really tight. There's been jobs that we have not participated in, but we've heard there's a scheduled delivery, it doesn't arrive, and the superintendent ends up calling the fabricator. Where's my steel? Oh, it's in process. And then they send somebody to the shop and it's not even on the shop floor. I mean, it's a whole host of problems. This was our way of saying, hey, listen, we know that it's critical on these jobs because there's enormous penalties if you don't meet the schedules. And you should be able to log into something to see where your product is.
Moving from the space I was in into construction, I saw how behind they were on this kind of automation. So when Shane told me the idea, I thought it was amazing for this space and this industry and would be the first of its kind. I thought it was a great idea.
The solution they envisioned was radical for an industry that still relied heavily on phone calls and paper trails. They would create a digital platform that tracked every piece of steel from raw material to final installation in real time. Driving that kind of change takes more than vision. It takes partnership. Backed by the strength and shared values of API Group, Shane and Pam set out to find collaborators who shared their curiosity, ambition, and belief in what's possible when innovation becomes a team effort.
You could have gone to a number of different vendors to make this dream come to reality. What was it about Inspire 11 that made you want to work with us?
The first thing partnering with Inspire 11 is the cultural element. Like, the culture's got to fit. You have to have a partner you can trust out of the gate. And we felt that immediately just going through the analysis process. The second piece is the breadth and depth of the team. I've dealt with a lot of different firms in the tech space, and I think the level of talent that you guys bring to bear is incredibly high. And it's not awkward. Like, you can have really great conversations regardless of the role of the person across your guys' business.
We felt your passion. You were excited and your passion, and the same thing we have when we talk about ideas. You guys were like excited with us. You looked at it, we did the inception that you could really understand our operations, know if it was possible, be honest with us where we did have some gaps and things we needed to work on. But you guys really were excited and wanted to really be a partner with us.
What emerged from this partnership was more than just software. It was a new way of thinking about steel fabrication and construction.
Without letting any trade secrets out, can you walk through kind of the major building blocks of what you're trying to accomplish?
Fundamentally, we're just saying, hey, the minute you order a product from us, you're going to know where it is at any particular phase of the process. For everything from raw product to inventory management, all the way through our production facilities, everything from early stage preparation of the product all the way through the actual welding and fit up and everything that we're going through the fabrication phase to, hey, I know that it's on a truck ready to go, or it's at paint, or it's being galvanized. And then, oh, where is it en route? This is something that's absolutely critical. You have a lot of highly paid professionals that are like working on building sites or construction sites, and time is money. And you don't want a crew of 4 or 5 different individuals waiting for a load of steel when they could be productively spending time doing other things. So we want to try to take the guessing game out of where your product is at any given time. And then we also want there to be certainty around what you're receiving. When you receive product, there's a shakeout period where you literally would take every piece off the truck. You'll try to figure out, okay, well, what piece goes where? We're hoping to alleviate that. So you know exactly what piece you're looking for, you can find it digitally, and off to the races you're going.
The benefits went far beyond tracking. The platform revealed inefficiencies, eliminated guesswork, and transformed how LeJeune operates.
You can't argue data. Sometimes you'd go to a team and be like, well, I heard, or I think this happened. And they're like, no, this was blah, blah. Oh, here's the data. Can't argue the data. Here it is, and here, it's okay. But now we can solve the problem, figure out the root cause, and really find a solution to make sure it's not a systemic issue and that we can take care of it and move forward. I love the data that this app provides to help us internally, and obviously it'll provide even better data out to our partners and our customers of exactly what's going on. So it keeps us honest and it keeps us on our toes and makes sure we want to perform at our best.
But perhaps the most profound transformation happened within LeJeune's culture itself. A company rooted in tradition was becoming a beacon of innovation.
Going down the talent route, because I think it's so important, especially in a space like this, how do you attract young talent to your organization, and how do you make sure they continue to be motivated?
I think it's a cultural play, first and foremost. There's obviously roles that we need filled in our business, but we actually look at who are you as a human? What do you dream about? How do you want to live your life? How do you want to grow and develop as a contributing member of a team?
I always, when I interview people, tell them that it is an open field. You bring your ideas, you bring your innovation. They're the ones doing the job. We take those ideas and we run with those, and we just let people have an open field of, hey, this isn't a status quo job, you just do your job. There's more opportunity here if you want it.
As part of API Group, LeJeune's drive to challenge the status quo is more than a mindset. It's a movement. Across this collective of innovators, a shared belief in empowerment and transformation fuels a culture where bold ideas don't just happen, they're expected. This openness to ideas, this hunger for innovation, it's not what you'd expect from a steel company. But then again, nothing about LeJeune's transformation has been typical.
You guys have both talked about balance in your answers, and that's usually built through trust. So how did you build that trust initially to the point where you can balance each other out?
Well, I didn't trust them because we went public. And
That's fair.
that took a lot of years.
Started with a lie.
Rebuild. Started with a lie, so we start with that.
Through laughter and challenge, through no's that became tell me more, they built something stronger than steel, a partnership that could transform an industry. From paper trails to digital platforms, the pace of change is accelerating, but the American spirit of innovation remains constant.
If you could give a piece of advice to a newly minted CEO who's in what has traditionally been more of a sleepy industry, but they want to make big moves like you have, what's a piece of advice you would give that person?
Hire the right team, because not everybody's cut out to run fast, run hard, be relentless in the pursuit, and be a team player with you. You have to have the right team.
You need to adapt and you need to grab onto that talent and really be open to a different way of thinking and incorporate that into your world and not be afraid to spend the money up front for long-term gain.
As the sun sets over LeJeune's facilities, one thing is clear. The future of American industry isn't about abandoning our past. It's about taking the strength, resilience, and ingenuity that built this nation and forging it into something new.
When a new Hans and a new Shane are sitting down in the seat 20 years from now.
I hope not.
And they're talking about
They don't need one of you or me.
what was created 20 years ago, right? How do you want people to look back at this moment in time for where LeJeune sits?
I want them to think this was like a game-changing start on figuring out how to leverage tech. And this was really the catalyst for really an innovative business. This was the moment that shaped our innovation culture.
In an industry where success is measured in tons and deadlines, LeJeune Steel has added a new metric: innovation. They've proven that even the most traditional industries can transform, that American manufacturing can continue to lead, and that sometimes the best way to honor a legacy is to ensure it has a future. This is the story of American steel in the 21st century, strong as ever, and now smarter than ever before.